Well, this whole narcissist thing has got me going pretty good. Got my goat just rolling this morning inside of what it is. Look, I just got done with one, and it's like, look, what you get out of this is a desk. What you do at that desk is what matters. You know why this is important? Because at all points in time, you shaking hands with danger, Dave. Okay, inside of here, I'll just, and GBT3 is funny like that, but we're going to skip over it for right now, because I like Jordan Patterson. And I could use that at the desk if I had it handy. Just off a hand here, because, yeah, narcissist being the main term on the day relative to sociopath, it cut my teeth on the number when I learned from Jordan Patterson off of this material. So, I mean, given the Q&A that I could put up, that's gonna trigger on certain things. Remember, you're shaking hands with danger. And I get a case study at my desk, because that's what you would get at that desk. You would say an employee, some fraction of that employee, a time of that person's portfolio and pie chart for the day, for the weeks, the T indexes that aren't just one. They're in the T's, the M's, and the A's for sure. Maybe the B's in terms of subcategories of those things that really determine the mass of that position. So this is already way off the farm. I'm narcissistic as shit. I can't prove any of that to be true, and I'm going to be convincing you as a sociopath inside here because I'm socially broad into dealing with something like fusion, hydrogen 1, 0, helium, durium, tritium, neutrinos. Good God. But what you get out of here is a desk. Now, I'm not working the astrology desk, but essentially I am, because where's Jupiter right now? Somebody tell me? That's right, you sit down, Larry. Goddamn it. At any rate, my schizo ass inside here might be able to beneficially use a subject matter like that. And specifically when you say that to somebody. And I want to touch on the matter about if you can't use somebody with narcissism. If I can't find narcissism in myself, and we're like, shaking hands with danger. Do I know how to use that equipment? To do what? Tell gravity? Tell time? Long game indexes management? I don't know. Sometimes it gets a little sketchy in here. And I'm convincing you to give me the same pay at a lighter risk. Whoa! This gets quick fast, guys. Inside what happens here, if I could ask either of those, is like, do you think you're a narcissist? Yes. Have you done anything to correct those things? Yes. And I'd say, well, then that by definition is the definition which no longer makes you a narcissist. Now, you can't say that I'm not big. You can't say that, hey, buddy, I'm big in this field and that makes me a narcissist. I'm going to get clipped. It's old hat, Mason, Grandmaster stuff where once you get too big, you sit in the office too long, you lose it on the horizon problem, Doomslayer gets too much power in there, gets big, starts to become a narcissist, live long enough to see yourself become the villain or die the hero inside of what it is. Time is old as time. I mean, that's also a math problem. It's inverted, right? Like, what am I looking at on the board? Hydrogen and the decay state of elements to form a blue hyper O-type star on numbers of electromagnetisms and black body radiations for the temperature of what it was, IH. Of course it's a black body, but what about scale? You know, what about the perception under this idea to parallaxing values and what that does? I just slipped a new word into you. That's a tool, essentially. Can I see the situation where that applies? Because I'm not trying to be a psychopath. I'm not trying to be manipulative in the standards. Remember, there would be nothing in the board except for Jordan Patterson and his daughter as bored. Like, they being bored, just dealing with me, clicking through the numbers, and, you know, as you do. But let's carry on. I didn't want to necessarily bring him up. I was hoping to get another secondary index in terms of what it is inside here. This is all random choice by YouTube selection. You know, I've seen some of them before in the past. I don't know why they'd come back up, but you know, let's see if we can find one and just see if we can catch this. Crosstalk China versus U.S. You know, not what we're doing right now. It's my desk. I'll determine what that is. All of them. I could hit any one of these at the desk today. That's the beauty of this desk. Well, determine, oh, is that what I need to study today? Or I just want to be a narcissist and you've been a mortal all along, Data. In terms of what this stuff applies to, again, you know, I'm not really, but I'm trying to stay in the sector of psychology, so terms are going to come up. Psychopath, sociopath, hypervigilance, PSTD, narcissist, Messiah complex, Caesar's complex, just, you know, some of the 7 seals that I'll make for just some basic things. And if you couldn't handle just that matrix, and maybe I'm cool about it. I'll be like, you know what, I'm just a math teacher. You're right. Everybody just can't do my work forever. Throw me in one, whatever term you got. I wish I could catch one offhand here. Well, sex addicts and all. Well, I'm not going to say that doesn't, but let's look at the positions first of lead to addiction as a term, or well, when you get into the sins of it all, the 7 deadlies: greed, lust, wrath, gluttony, pride, and sloth, and let's see where you're going to be a narcissist about it on the positive negative 1 index. It's like if I used it as the term and I just did general relativity to see how prideful my crew is for loyalties, right? You know, because that's where the inversion on that up, down, up, and down matters. Inside of there with psychologists, right? A lot of them and mathematicians, right? Fucking chemists, anyways. Master Masons and generals. Well, let's see what we got here. There's got to be something in here. How to improve your life. Well, how to improve your life. I'm looking for a term. This guy's going to get out here and tell me graph it. She is going to tell me to graph it. He's going to tell me to graph it. And neither of them are going to show me a damn graph about Bernoulli's in the house and things being congruent to dimensional analysis of forming a general math problem, which then they put the numbers in without you grading it for them. Goddamn narcissists anyways. The fucking lot of them over here. Anti-copper is this bullshit. Well, he's slamming them on the other end of it. Because that makes me a gatekeeper. It makes me just on guard. Cops are guard. This guy being a representative on guard. He would say it from an inverted index from what these numbers all in the up and up should represent for the course thesis. You can't trust shit. You can't trust shit nowadays. Unless it's 9.8 meters per second, because even these guys got to use some base of a number, and it's like, well, that's what that is. And even if you could conspiracy that shit, it's like, well, the numbers aren't any of those things. Well, you have to use at least those numbers, don't you? And then somebody's gonna have to register the shift in time on what goes on here to figure out. Oh, I start today. Not when I'm 14, because yeah, you figured stock models out, but I gotta get Larry to do it. And everybody else inside here. And what that means is it's going to start today with a scientific method of graphing it, damn it. Inside of here, when you're looking at this, and I have to graph that as the teacher, it takes time by understanding the terms of like, oh, narcissism, yeah, that's a negative one or a positive one here. How do I graph that across the board to say prime, to then say the result on the board was the sawmill? And the output of that better fucking production, or at least at the Atomos 9.8 meters per second terminal position, bro! Okay, get on it. Get the fuck out of my office right now.